Right, so my T120 was due for a service back in September, and I called in at the dealers to book it in, and they told me it was going to cost over £300, which I thought were a bit steep. So I asked them what they were planning on doing for £300, and they said, well, it'd be an oil and filter change and all the checks and lubricating and adjustments. And I said, well, what about brake fluid and things like that? And they said, well, we don't normally change brake fluid. It says we test it. It says, and if it's all right, we leave it alone. If it isn't, then we'd change it. But we said that'd cost extra. So I thought, this is going to be a bit of a joke here. The bike's going on for 9 years old, and it's £300 having it serviced or even more. So I thought, I'm going to service it myself, which I have done. Most of it anyway. I've changed the oil and filter and done all the different checks, the chain, and lubricated it and checked everything, the wheels and such like. And I've also bought a bit of equipment, or a couple of bits of equipment, to do other jobs. So this is the first thing I bought, and this is a tester for checking your brake fluid. It checks the amount of moisture that's in it, and I've checked my front and rear brake reservoirs, and both are fine. I think this cost me about just over £20, and it's really good piece of kit. So my brake fluid doesn't need changing yet. I'll just keep an eye on it. The other item I bought is a electronic device, or a cable that plugs into the connector under the saddle on the bike, and it communicates with the ECU. It's a piece of kit called a dealer tool. You get some software with it as well, and I'll show you that in a moment. Right, so I've got the laptop coupled up to the bike. So there's the unit that plugs into the connector under the saddle, and then plugs into the laptop. So now this is the software that I've opened up, and you'll probably see along the top there's a list of things that you can do with the software. It's telling me at the bottom that the registered ECU is detected and it's on COM port 3. So now if I attempt to read ECU data, and if where's that mouse disappeared to? There it is. Read ECU, and it's reading the data, and it's got the serial numbers and everything there. I'll now go back to main page, and then bring the mouse back up and look at sensor values. So it tells you all the different things there from the sensors, temperatures, coolant temperature, air temperature, all the different voltages, and if I now go back to main page, oh, clicked on the wrong thing, back to main page, there we go. I'll now go, there's this here for throttle balance, but you need to run the bike up to temperature, and you can adjust the balance on the injectors. Back to main page, check faults, reading ECU data, and this says I've got no fault codes, thankfully, but it gives me the option to either clear them or go back to main page. What we got here? Test modes. A number of things you can test: fuel pump, cooling fan, ride by wire, motor, headlamp. It says a lot of these things may not be on all bikes, but you've got a number of things you can actually test. But this is the bit I'm interested in: ABS. You just have to accept that then you connect to the ABS unit, and it reads that, and it comes up with, when it's ready, ID number, software version, number of ABS fault codes stored. Well, there's no faults. And then if you look over here, down here, you've got a button for clearing any faults, and then you've got a button here for bleeding the system, which is the bit I'm interested in, because if I ever need to bleed the brakes, this is going to allow me to do it without taking it to a dealer. Back to main page, and then seems to have lost connection with the ECU. Let's have a look. Oh, it's because I connected to the ABS. So I've got to reread the ECU data. That's right. Back to main page. And then hopefully that'll let me click on instruments. Here we are. And on this page you can enable and disable quite a number of things. TPMS, heated grips, and you can set the range until next service, so you can alter that if it comes up on your instruments. Back to main page. So that's the software, and it allows you to do a number of tasks that you would have to take it to a dealer to do. So hopefully if I have to change the brake fluid, I should be able to do it. So that's that.